But what you need to do is shoot. Oop. I was standing over the edge. Greetings, Terrarians. Khaios here. Welcome back to another episode of Harbinger. Before I pick up where I left off in the previous episode, it was requested of me that I show you guys what happens to Ezri if you were to save her. So I'm going to go ahead and just show that progression of things instead. So we just need to wait for Ezri to drop down the elevator. And there she is. So in between the force field blinks, we have to place a portal straight up the elevator shaft at the top, and then place a portal beneath you and Ezri. And you end up here. And once the slimes are killed, she progresses down the conveyor belt. We progress down the conveyor belt with her. You'll have a short dialogue here while she opens up this force field in the escape tunnel. And then you guys will both progress onwards together. The reason why I have a bunch of conveyor belts up here is to actually get Ezri moving the direction that you want. I could have done it with a bunch of slimes spawning in the direction that I wanted to, but it was just a pain in the butt. So here we come to Madas's AI core. You get a secret chest with the companion cube pet, some more gold dye for it if you choose. She meaning Ezri decides to stay behind and try to repair Madas rather than just destroy her, see what she does, or to see what she can do. Meanwhile, you have more health potions here. You proceed onwards. You have, as I stated in the previous episode, the last Madas camera for the achievement, and then you proceed into this elevator and you end up at Fury's Forge, where we left off in the last episode. Now, since this is a different playthrough on a different map, it's not actually everything that I want, so I'm going to just switch to the other world, and I will get right back to you guys. Alright, so here we are, back in the original playthrough in Fury's Forge. So the first thing you might notice is this fish with a hat up here, and the area is actually named after the YouTuber Fury Forged. The fish is a reference to one of his videos, which I'm sure most of you have figured out by now. It's kind of a thank you to him for helping me out with figuring out my YouTube channel. So the first secret we have in here is to pull this lever, and I just rebuilt the Nomi pixel art that he used in his Fury modded Terraria series, and kind of just made it all red and bloody and evil. And the kind of character in this area is worshipping it. You have another code to the combination lock here, and inside here we just have some survival items for you. And I'll just go ahead and equip that frozen turtle shell. So the first thing you'll notice is we have a bunch of displays here with switches, and they will kind of tell you what's going on within the forge, the different sections of the forge, but you're unable to proceed onwards from here until we go up top. And that's because this room is a different pressure. It's too highly pressurized, as the text when you exited the elevator told you gotta hit with a gust of air, that kind of thing. So what we need to do here is we have a puzzle where it adds to the meter or subtracts to the meter, and if you've seen any of my wiring tutorials, I have done a tutorial on this puzzle. So that's what this is, and what we need to do is get the meter to end up precisely on the point right here, just like that. And this door opens up. That was actually just a lucky guess. And now we could flip this switch. Make sure I'm zoomed out so you can see. Lights flicker on. We have golems spawning. And we have access through this door to the rest of Fury's Forge. Make sure you go into this trash can and you'll find an Uzi. And there will be text throughout. Like when we just walked up to the trash can, it told you to search in it. There'll also be another piece of text in case you missed that to kind of indicate that you should grab the Uzi. Because we do need a gun that fires fairly quickly. So from here, this area is shut and this area is shut. So the only place that we can go at the moment is down here. Now, I've noticed some people just seem to have forgotten in their playthrough that they have the portal gun. But while the rest of the map is not a portal puzzle per se, there will be portal use requirements throughout the map. So we go through there, stand in front of this door, we'll teleport through. There's some more data entries here. This is kind of fun. I have items popping out of item frames. I might do a tutorial on how to accomplish this in another video and another date. But the items are popping out of the item frames and just being carried down the conveyor belt, so it looks like you're actually in an ore processing facility. So what we need to be doing is just shooting these blue circuits repeatedly, which will extend the bridge, and whenever you stop shooting them, the bridge retracts, which is why you need something that fires rapidly. And then we have the same sort of thing here, but we also have a bit of a parkour area as well. So the best way to do this, in my opinion, is to place a portal here, and there is a way to just jump from this chain to that chain. It's just a pain in the butt. If we place another portal here, and we jump through the blue one and hold the up button, in my case the W key, to grab this chain, then we find ourselves up here. Now we could repeatedly shoot this circuit to extend the bridge again. And we just make our way across here before it retracts. And now we need to basically just lob ourselves up here through this portal. Like thus, and then we could just shoot this to extend the bridge one more time, run away across, and you could pull the lever to give yourself a shortcut. And I forgot to pull the lever on the right side of the room, but you can do it there. So here we have kind of silt trap, I suppose. So there's doors that are dropping silt blocks every so often in a random pattern, and once they hit these minecart tracks, they just disappear instead of actually placing tiles. I think it's just kind of a fun, it doesn't hurt too much, so as you can see, you don't take too much damage, but I think it's a fun little dodge parkour area. Then things get a little more intense with these boulders, and they do drop in a specific order at a set amount of time. They're not random like the silt, so it's a little easier to work with. But what you need to do is shoot. Oop. Oh, I was standing over the edge. Okay, I'm gonna make my way back. Okay, here we are back again. I totally didn't expect to get myself wrecked there. So what we need to do is extend the bridge and wait for the boulders to kind of fall on the left side and just run in between. And then we have a blue circuit over here to keep the bridge extended, and we're gonna need to wait for a boulder on the right side to fall while we kind of keep the bridge slightly extended for us, just like that, so we can get across. And then once you pull this, it'll close this door, so if you happen to die and you need to come back, you won't get crushed by boulders. That said, there's really, you can probably see through the shadow painted blocks, a limit to how much boulders there are falling there, and that's kind of the time limit there. It'll run out. So here we have conveyor belts and alternating doors and more silt. Nothing major. Pretty easy to go through. If you stand on both conveyor belts at the same time, then you end up not moving. But if you were to stand on the edge, it just pushes you towards where the silt is coming out, and you end up getting hit. So you're trying to jump into these middle segments. And then one last area of boulder falling and we have to climb up to this exit. Also, it's not that big of a deal if you just place a portal. Wait for that. There we go. It was being a little picky. And place another portal here. We'll just wait for this boulder to fall. And then we'll hop on through. Now we just need to switch chains before that boulder falls, and then switch back, and we can hop through. So we're in the next part of the Fury's Forge, and this is the actual furnace area. And here we have the second secret area, sorry. So, I have to admit, I watched another YouTuber struggle at this for quite a while, trying to get it from here, and I'm impressed that they actually got the skill shot from up here. They managed to lob the grenade into the green circuit. But the way you're meant to do it is you jump over here, and there are burning blocks that'll burn you there. And fire starts shooting out as well. So what we need to do is time the flames here and end up on this platform. We'll go now. And shoot another portal here. And now we're through this into the secret area. And then we can just, without getting ourselves killed preferably, lob a grenade. Oh my goodness. Okay, it's gonna be picky. Let's do it from back here maybe. I just feel like I'm gonna get myself killed now. Normally I don't have trouble with this shot. Oh, I'm gonna die here. There was no getting out of that one. So I'll just make my way back and I'll make that shot for you guys. Sorry about that. There we go. That took entirely too long. That's kind of interesting to me because I did place this glass block here with these actuated platforms so that the projectile could hoik through and get trapped in here to make it easier. And I never had issues with it before, so I had assumed that was what was happening. But I guess it's still able to pop out. I'll need to experiment with that and see if I can get a patch done on the world to make that a little bit easier. But here we have the second secret, and this is just another reference to Fury, who likes to wear a black hat. So we have the plumber's hat and some black dye for Fury there. So once that's done, we could just place a portal up here and just basically proceed through. So just wait for those flames to go off right there. Oh, that's gonna hurt. I meant to walk up top. So now we have to time our jump to get across this. Just like that. Oh, got myself killed. Whew! I have all these health potions and I'm getting cocky. And I want to talk about what I'm doing instead of focusing on what I'm actually doing. So what I was going to say when I got myself murdered is you see these red plus signs or a red cross next to the blue circuit here. And those will give you a bit of health whenever you shoot the circuit, which is what I was trying to say when I got myself murdered. So we also have one right over here, and I forgot about the flames on there. Again, just focusing on trying to explain the map to you guys. It's really hard in this segment because there's so much going on. I might just focus on getting myself through and adding a commentary to it on top of that. But we do have a shortcut halfway through this conveyor belt, thankfully, to help get through. And we have some more platforms which toggle left and right with the conveyor belts here. And if you just keep jumping, they're not too bad. But if you try standing still and just running across, you're going to get tripped up and thrown into the lava, just like I did there. So I'm just going to hop my way across. just like that. Wait for the flames to go through. And now we're in the water. And you can't just run across the bottom here because it is hellstone brick. It's going to burn you. But once you hop your way across that water and end up here, you do get a nice chunk of healing, which is fantastic. So now we have a little bit of rope or chain parkour. And we just make our way across to this emerald gem here. And a tip for you guys, whenever you're doing rope parkour in Terraria, always hold down the direction that you want to travel. Never let go of that direction. So if I'm holding down D to go right, I'm going to hold down D the entire time. Because if I let go of my directional key and then press it again, I will just fall. However, if I'm holding onto it and don't let go, I could just keep moving in that direction without ending up falling to the ground. So we plop the gem in, and we'll pull that lever. Which will open up the door. Sorry about that, dog distracted me. And now we have this segment of the forge that we need to get up to. Up at the very top, you'll see that this door... let me take care of these two punks real quick because they're not going to let me talk. This door has been opened. So to get up there, we could just place a portal right up here. And then another portal there. And then we could place a portal on that surface and a portal on that surface. And just kind of repeat and work our way up. Now here, we actually have the third secret area of Fury's Forge. And if you just shoot straight up the middle, we end up in a little bit of a secret area here with, if anybody watches Fury, a pink prickly pear and a whoopee cushion. Because he loves whoopee cushions and he hates pink prickly pears. So to survive leaving this secret area, you just need to place portals on the floor beneath you, just like whatever. I have the lucky horseshoe and recording makes me miss everything, so we're just gonna move on. But you could place portals beneath you, fall through, end up like this, and just work your way back down safely if you don't have the lucky horseshoe. Or you could just die and be taken back to a checkpoint. No big deal. So we walk in here. This door shuts. There's some explosions. This force field opens. Don't forget to take your medical supplies. And now what we have here is this kind of rubble-looking area with a fuel line pipe. And if you shoot it, it causes the pipe to quote-unquote ignite and start shooting. The fuel line is just igniting fire and shooting flames up. But it's also going to be our way out. So if we just go in here and shoot a portal straight up to the top, we could then place another portal. I'll just wait for that flame. And I, of course, ended up getting myself butchered again. I have died more times in this episode than I've died in this map ever. That's fantastic. So we do have another checkpoint right here. So I'm just going to wait for the flames to go by one more time. And then I'm going to place a portal at the top there again. And another portal down here. And just walk our way off to the right there. Now we end up in Xenobiology, which is the next segment of the area of the map. And I think I have enough time to get through this. So first thing that we have here is a secret area hidden in the logo there with another combination digit. We also have some vortex leggings this time, which will help you out, and some bacon, which is always good. I don't personally need those glow sticks, so I'm just going to leave them behind. So we have this big area here with some golems and aliens and Martians and what have you. And there's lore. If you click on any of these switches beneath them. A fun little Easter egg is it gives you a little bit of lore on the background of these guys if you pull this lever, but also once the lore is done, they'll actually break their way out of these chambers, just like that, and you'll have to fight them. No big deal, it's just a fun little Easter egg. The big thing here is in this chest where a scientist was developing some rocket boots. And these rocket boots are going to be what gets you through this area. We fly up here and you'll see we have a rather sizable version of the maze that we had in the obstacle course. And in fact, there's a little bit of witty text that says who places a maze in a maintenance shaft, because I don't know why I did it. I just felt like this would be a good place to do it, and I questioned myself afterwards. Any rate, so we have the orange circuit again, which toggles between the green and the red doors, and what we need to do is just work our way through the maze by shooting these circuits as we progress. So we'll just come down here and we'll shoot that, and now this is opened up. So we make our way over here. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that one, I meant this one. And the interesting thing about this maze is it's actually set up into 3 different segments. So we have this first maze, which we're working through now, but once we grab this gem, we'll actually open up a second version of the same maze. So it kind of just reorients itself. You'll see when I pick this gem up, all of the walls kind of change positions, which basically makes it a second maze within the first maze, which I thought was kind of fun to experiment around with. So now we have this opened up here. So if you end up dying somehow, because there are a couple traps in the maze, or if you end up falling through, or just saving and exiting, coming back, you can enter through this area now. So our next goal is to hit this gem right up here. I'm just going to speed this up while I get through the maze, and I'll get back to you in a second. And now we have the second gem, and we could just walk out here. And if you had walked through any of these exits, you would just fall down here and have no way of getting back into the maze without going to the entrance of it. And now we will place these 2 gems, which will basically open up the third maze. Well, when we grabbed the second maze, the second gem, the entire maze reoriented itself again. And now we have a third version of the same maze. Oop, got myself trapped in there. And again, I'll just get back to you guys once I've solved this maze. Okay, so we are through the maze, and if you don't have a slow fall, make sure you use your rocket boots before you go splat on the bottom. And now we have this light pillar puzzle, which is something I'm very proud of. To be honest, it's not too difficult to solve. It was way more work to create, but just to give you kind of, a lot of it is off screen, but just to give you an idea of the wiring here, it was really, really a challenge to create. I'm quite happy with how it turned out. But this is inspired by something that I saw in a couple of BioWare games when I was growing up. Same sort of puzzle in Knights of the Old Republic as well as Mass Effect 1, where you have 4 lights on a pillar, and you need to get the 4 lights onto the far end pillar. But you can only move the topmost light at a time, and you can only place a light on top of another light. If I were to try to place this light beneath this light in the middle, it would reset the mechanism. However, if I were to place this light on top of this light, it will not reset the mechanism. So all we need to do is work the lights in such a way that we always place a new light on top of another light and not beneath it. And if you have trouble solving that, eventually the area will give you some hints. I believe the filler text give you some hints as well. But even if that doesn't help you solve this puzzle, then in the end, it will just short circuit and open the door for you on its own volition. However, it will dock your score at the end of the map, and it will take more time to do that than it would be to just solve it if you know how the puzzle works. And now we move on to the hydroponics section of Harbinger, but I think that's enough time for today's video, so I'll pick that up in the next one. Thank you all very much for watching. I apologize for all of my deaths today. I was just having an off day, but I hope you got a kick out of it. I'm enjoying this playthrough. I hope you're all as well. If you are, be sure to hit the like button and leave a comment, and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you all for watching. I'll catch you all later.